We are here at the Eternal Gandhi Museum of Houston. As you can see, there's a lot to see. We're here with Neel, Wani.
Welcome, welcome.
Who will take y'all in and y'all can check out the place. You want to tell them a little bit about the place?
Yeah, so we opened in August 15th of 2023. That was our official opening. So we've been open almost 2 years. It's about an $11 million project, and it's on 3 acres of land. The museum itself is about 1,200 square feet. On the day of our groundbreaking on October 2nd of 2023, we actually had Gandhi's grandson come. It was quite amazing. We got to meet him as well as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s nephew, so
Wow.
they both came.
Wow.
The museum was started by an accountant and a doctor who really weren't too sure what they were doing at first, but they found the right help, and now we have this beautiful museum.
Awesome. Y'all got a congressman involved.
We got a congressman involved.
Yeah.
Congressman Al Green gave us a $3 million grant.
That's amazing.
That really, helped us build
No,
this
that's
place
amazing.
too.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they have, so the Eternal Gandhi Museum, they have one in New Delhi, I believe, in India. They approached one of the founders and said, hey, how do you feel about opening one up in Houston? And
yeah.
so here we are.
All right, yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah.
So you guys are located in what region of Houston so people can find you?
Yeah, so we are kind of like in the Sugarland-ish area, near Sugarland.
Right.
Off of Beltway 8 and Airport Boulevard.
Right, right.
So.
Okay, awesome, yeah.
Not too.
Yeah,
not
just
too
so
out
they
of the
can
way.
find you, yes.
Yeah.
So definitely. But check this place out. So what is this wall here? What are we looking at?
So this is kind of like the introduction to the museum, if you will. So this
Nice.
section is called Humanity's Challenges. This specific panel is going to give different definitions / forms of truth and nonviolence, right? Peace, selflessness, honesty, love, all different forms of truth and nonviolence that we see. We've also got a panel for violence and showing different forms of that because,
To create contrast.
exactly, to create
Yeah.
contrast.
Yeah.
And violence, we generally think fighting, we think guns. Definitely violence, But this panel brings awareness to other things like poverty, pollution, bullying, lying, theft, racism. And we have a really good quote by Coretta Scott King. I must remind you that starving a child is violence, neglecting school children is violence, punishing a mother and her family is violence, discrimination against a working man is violence, ghetto housing is violence, ignoring medical need is violence, contempt for poverty is violence. So
You hear that, Netanyahu?
there you go.
All right, so you're going to take us through the museum, and we're going to kind of check out the different exhibits here and
Yeah.
show Houston what y'all have to offer.
Yeah,
We'll go ahead and do that now.
Yeah, it's a real treat. All right, so now we begin the Gandhi portion of the museum. So this is, we call it his journey, right?
Okay.
So we kind of talk about how he was when he was little, He was very mischievous, very shy, very fearful of a lot of things.
Yeah.
Very contrary to what we see him as,
Yeah.
Obviously behind us is a map of the world, and in orange is where the British had control. They had a very expansive empire. And in India, circled there, is where our story takes place, of course. Lots of racial discrimination going on as well, of course, and Indians not being treated fairly.
That was the UK came in to kind of colonize and
Right,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
They came in to colonize, and for a long time they owned they owned India. So that's kind of what this shows. And on that side was, of course, all of the younger information about Gandhi.
Were they taking slaves? Because it looks like they just from the map, it
They
looks like
might
they
have.
might have been taking people away from here and to over there. Because these people naturally wouldn't be able to even.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be able to confirm it.
Yeah,
to be
I'm
honest,
just- I'm
'cause-
just-
no,
just
but I
by
mean, it's
looking, yeah.
it's probably something that did happen. I mean, they definitely did not treat them right. And
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if something like that
It's a
happened.
shame.
But yeah, it's a real shame. And
Yeah.
I mean,
But Gandhi was really kind of standing up to all that type of stuff
exactly.
anyway. So
yeah,
that's-
and I
why
think the
we're
whole
here.
point of the first section is, he starts off as a kid. He's fearful of stuff. There's even accounts of him stealing pocket change to go buy cigarettes to make him look cool.
Really?
Yeah, which it's like, wait, Gandhi? But
Yeah,
the
no
whole
kidding.
point, we all start out making mistakes, right?
Right.
We all start out.
This is him as a kid, right?
Yeah, and so this is actually him as a kid. Very
wow.
similar wax sculpture to that. And this is the first interactive part of the museum. And so it's actually going to project a
It
movie.
says touch here to start.
Yeah,
so
so if
I
you want to go
touch
ahead and
that,
touch it, boom.
and then you have
Even a young Gandhi.
And so we have a short 30-second video put together that kind of describes honesty and forgiveness. So
Pocket change from the family.
So he literally took
buy cigarettes.
money. He stole money to go buy cigarettes to look cool.
Yep.
In front of people.
Yep.
But this is Gandhi we're talking
this
about.
is
so that's
Gandhi.
quite ironic.
Exactly.
Honestly, yeah.
It's crazy.
That's
And
pretty crazy.
The video tells you, after he did that, he felt really bad and he apologized to his father. But I think the importance of that is that even if we do make mistakes, we own up to them.
Yeah,
We own
exactly.
up to them. We be truthful and honest about the mistake that we made, and like Gandhi's father, maybe we'll be forgiven. So,
Yeah, exactly. So this is his youth.
This is his youth,
In
exactly.
essence, yeah.
Um,
So that would be the year 1883.
So he was born
Is
in
that-
1869.
Wow.
On October 2nd. Father was Karamchand Gandhi, mother was Putliba Gandhi, and he actually got married at the age of 13 to
Wow.
Kasturba, who was 14.
That's young.
So young.
Yeah, that's
fun
young.
fact story, his father, his two older brothers were going to get married already.
Right.
So his father just told him, he's like, all right, let's save some money.
How old was the bride?
14.
Oh, okay.
She was
okay.
14.
Yeah.
Of course, different time period.
It's different cultures, different
different
things, yeah.
cultures, but doesn't happen in today's day and age.
No doubt, no doubt, but understandably so.
Yeah.
you know?
So, so then in 1883 they got married, and then 2 years later his father actually passed.
Oh, okay.
So.
So this is his upbringing,
Right,
in this
right,
part of the
his
museum.
upbringing.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, and so.
Cool. Let's check out the next part.
Yeah, he wasn't a very good student, but he graduated from high school, went to college in India for a semester, and then he actually dropped out.
Gandhi was a dropout.
He dropped out.
Really?
But
That's
later
interesting.
on, he realized he wanted to become a barrister or an attorney. So he went to London and for 4 years studied there and became an attorney.
Amazing.
Yeah. Now, it wasn't easy for him to go. His mom was a little bit skeptical because London is a whole new land with a whole bunch of new temptations, So she actually made him promise her to abstain from 3 things: meat, women, and wine. Women, he's married, he's already married, so he can't go messing around with women. And then wine and meat in their culture is they don't consume that. So with those 3 promises, he went, and he was able to go study.
Hold on.
So
Y'all do Okay. Is that a cultural thing?
so it's
Is it all alcohol or
I
just
think
wine
it's in
specific?
some castes.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to drink any alcohol or eat any meat.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah,
Is it specific to the type of meat or is it just all animal meat?
I think it's all animal meat.
Okay.
There's
okay,
some that are specific to the type of meat as well.
Okay.
But I think
I know it's so random. I just had to ask. Though,
no,
'cause
yeah,
I'm
definitely.
I'm
ask.
ignorant to the fact.
No,
you know what I mean?
definitely
So-
ask. And I think for them it was all meat.
Okay.
He actually, London had a lot of meat at the time, but he became a leading figure of the London Vegetarian Society, which was like pretty cool because
So he was an outspoken vegetarian. He was
Exactly.
like, he was open about what he was doing.
he was
with
open
that,
about
yeah.
what he was doing. Yeah.
That's
Now at this point in his life, we will, when you see pictures of him, you'll see him in suits, wearing nice hats, suits. He was trying to assimilate to that European culture in a way.
Yeah.
Which, we see a change in that, of course. But he did go through that. He was making money, and so he was able to buy nicer things.
Yeah.
And so now, when he was in college, his mother actually passed away while he was in college.
Okay.
They decided not to tell him, so he could focus on his studies. But when he came home, he did find out, and it was a big shock. It was really sad,
Yeah, that is.
So, but he, went to practice law, and in his first case in India, actually, he got up to the stand and he was about to talk, and he completely froze up and ran out of the court. Yeah.
Oh,
so
no.
he was real shy, real fearful. That stuff still stuck with
and
him.
That's hard. Yeah.
It was hard, yeah, but he eventually got contracted to go to South Africa, and that's kind of where.
So he went India to England to Africa.
Right.
Okay.
India to London, back to India, and then to Africa.
Okay. Okay.
But he was
He's
contracted.
traveling around a lot.
Yeah, he was traveling around a lot. He initially got contracted to South Africa for a year, but he ended up spending like 21 years there.
Wow.
And, when he was there, he was taking a trip from Pietermaritzburg Station, which where we're sitting is actually kind of a replica of that station in South Africa. But he's going from Pietermaritzburg to Pretoria, and he has a first-class ticket, right? So he shows his ticket, gets on the train, and a white passenger gets on and sees him in first class and is like, "What are you doing? You know, you need to go to third class. You're not supposed to be up here." And Gandhi was confused. You know, he took out his first class ticket. He's like, "This is my ticket. I'm supposed to be here." And so the white passenger gets the conductor, who tells Gandhi, "You know, if you don't get off, we're going to throw you off." And Gandhi didn't get off because he wasn't, you know, he had his ticket. He wasn't really doing anything
He's like, "I
wrong.
paid for this."
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they violently threw him off it was like 9:05 p.m. at night. And I mean, it was a cold night. And they violently threw him off with all of his bags. And so at that moment, Gandhi, you know, really reconsidered his purpose in life and decided to devote himself to social justice and you know, racial discrimination and kind of bridging the gap between races. And so that's
So some angry white people caused this.
basically.
What's wrong with us?
No, I mean, you know, and again, in South Africa, things were really bad. I mean,
Yeah.
apartheid was going on.
Yeah,
so
yeah, they were going through
things were really bad.
Right.
And it was
Did he experience that? Did he
So-
show up and things were just kind of going haywire? And then-
exactly. He had experienced discrimination in India, but not to this extent. I mean, in South Africa, it was a lot worse. People of color were not even allowed to walk on the same side of the street as white people. You know,
Wow,
it was
wow.
they had to walk next to the trash on the way out of the way. You know, and it was really bad. And Gandhi saw that. And after this train moment, we call it his train moment because it happened on a train, obviously. But after this moment, he really is left with two choices, right? One, he can pack up his bags, go home, and just kind of admit, you know, take defeat and continue his attorney career. Or two, pack his bags and go forward and, you know, begin to fight this begin to fight the racial discrimination and injustice that's been done on Indian people and people of color in those areas. And that's what he did. In 1894, he actually established the Natal Congress. It's the Natal Indian Congress, and so it was made up of South African members as well as Indian members. And the whole reason for this Congress was to combat racial discrimination. So he started that. He also gathered 1,100 volunteers during one of the wars, during a couple of the wars that the British had, in an effort to kind of show the British that he was, you know, with them and a supporter of them. These guys actually went and they were medics, so they would go and they would help out whoever was hurt. You know, it got to the point where it didn't even matter what side you were on; they would go help you out. You know, and so that was also a really good way for Gandhi to help bridge the gap between Indians. But it also, you know, this was another movement that gave Indians kind of the sense of, okay, well, we're doing what we need to be doing. We're providing for this empire. How come we're still getting treated unjustly?
Right.
And so that was a big thing for them. In South Africa, Gandhi also established communes or ashrams. And so basically, you know, you'd go and let's say I would do the dishes one day, you would do the laundry one day. And then the next day we'd switch it up. I'd do the laundry, you do the dishes.
Communes, community.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Communes.
So
everybody
would be-
does their part. Everyone's equal, and so this really helped. You know, a lot of the homeless and the people who didn't have homes that were stable, they could come here.
He
and
kind of
be
started
taken care
the initiative for the homeless out there to
Exactly.
kind of get the, you know, them help.
Exactly, 100%. And you know, there's a lot of the caste system was very apparent during these times, you know, which basically is a hierarchical system in India.
Yeah.
And you're born into it. And this caused a lot of conflicts within India, you know, between Indians. And so Gandhi had said, you know, how are we gonna free ourselves from the British if we can't even free ourselves from conflict with each other?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's a very good point.
And so that was another thing he really tried to do was really immerse himself into that culture. He would sit in third class with them. You know, they were called the untouchables because the idea was they were so dirty you're not supposed to even touch them. So they were called the untouchables. Terrible, I know.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Horrible.
That was actually
And
horrible.
I mean, for the record, to this day, it's not like the caste system's gone. It's still there. It's not as strong of an influence, but it's definitely still there, and it's definitely still an issue. I mean, because, you know, we're all, I mean, on a totally separate subject. We're all humans. We're all born the same way.
Exactly. It's like them helping their enemy on the battlefield or whatever it is.
Exactly.
It's like a bleeding human is a bleeding human.
A bleeding human is a
like,
bleeding human either way. It doesn't matter where you were born, what part, what time you were born. None of that.
What religious background you have.
None of that matters.
Yeah, exactly.
You are a human. You're breathing the same air.
Right.
You're walking the same earth.
We're supposed to render aid to each other.
Exactly.
So that's,
exactly.
a human thing to do.
Exactly.
And so this is very interesting to me because like most people think of Gandhi as this like almost saint-like figure that doesn't make mistakes, but come to find out he was a rebellious teenager and ran around stealing money and smoking cigarettes and kind of just trying to grab some attention, which is.
And I mean, even then, we're talking about not making mistakes. When he was a lawyer, he went in his first court case and just dropped the bomb completely, ran out. So.
Exactly. So you don't got to be perfect to become legendary. I mean, honestly, it serves as an example for us to like really look at like this person is imperfect. He's not perfect, but he goes on to affect the world to where now y'all have a bronze statue outside.
Exactly.
Like, you can really make a difference if you just keep pushing. And he's a testament to that for sure.
And I think it's cool because we as a museum, we don't necessarily want people to be Gandhi, right? Because that's not going to happen. No one's expecting you to...
You're just telling a story.
We're telling a story.
Yeah.
But it's also, I think, it's able to kind of evoke something in me or in yourself, that's what is something that I can do in my everyday life,
to affect change. Yeah.
So me, I try to, everything I do, I have the underlying theme of love, right?
Yeah.
You don't know what this person's been through. You don't know what their story is. You don't know what they've been through today. So approach them with love, and I mean, that's helped me in my life, especially recently and as I've been here. And I think that that's something I've taken from this museum.
Yeah.
Obviously, as you've got to come here to really feel it because there's also an energy in this museum that's really peaceful and calming and really... It really just kind of gives you a weird closure in a sense of like, there's hope. There's hope. So,
it's a really well put together spot. You'll have some really cool exhibits, interactive where you can walk up and touch things and videos come on and all this cool stuff to actual wax figures that look exactly like Gandhi. It's like strikingly, we'll be on that part next. But yeah, this is even a train station. So they've gone out of their way to really make it an immersive experience. And for that reason, I recommend this museum to anyone that just wants to bring their kids. And the overall message for everything is really, really good in that it's, community building and nonviolence and all that really is really good for kids to hear because I hear so much of the opposite nowadays.
Exactly, it's
like
everywhere.
And I don't think Gandhi probably even realized in the time that he was alive that that's what he was doing is he gives people an alternative.
Right,
So.
Exactly. And so I think that this place can be very powerful for people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we'll go ahead and move on to the next part.
Cool.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
Thank you so much.
So, now we can kind of move on. Now, one of Gandhi's most famous events was the Salt March that happened. So we have a whole quick 2-minute video as well as a whole exhibit here. But for the viewers, I'm going to let you guys come in and see that one. We'll skip over that. And so now, here at the end, we have a depiction of Gandhi, kind of the most famous
amazing.
One. Yeah, and it's it's super lifelike. You can look into his eyes, and it's
look at the shadow even cast on there is even perfect. That's crazy.
It's got everything that he had. I mean, he kept a pocket watch on him. He had the sandals for comfortable walking, glasses.
Was he that tall?
He was that tall.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So he was recorded to be about 5'4", 110, 120 pounds.
Small guy.
Small guy.
Wow.
And the reason for that was one of the tactics that he used in civil disobedience was actually fasting. And the longest he ever went was 21 days.
Wow.
But basically, he wouldn't eat or drink anything until people listened to him or he got his way. And so, in a lot of the pictures, you see him, he's skin and bones. That's why. He would use fasting. And so, we have a lot of information on that as well in the museum.
What's he wearing? What is that technically called?
So this is a dhoti. And what it is, it's a traditional Indian garb that would actually be hand spun. And so way back in the past, that's what how all the Indians made their clothes, right?
Right.
And
is that machine over there?
Exactly.
Okay, I got you.
So they would use this charcoal wheel to
I
make
say machine, it's just like a mechanical device.
And it's literally like I mean, technically it's a machine,
Yeah.
but it's literally just a spinning wheel.
Right.
And you would thread cotton in there or whatever, in there to make stuff like this. And so the British had a really heavy tax on, textiles and clothes and stuff. And so Gandhi really urged the Indian population.
Made their own clothes.
Exactly. He told them, let's go back to the way we used to do things. It worked out. We can do it. So he is depicted wearing that as he's depicted in a lot of images that we see, because that's what he wore. It was very simple, and he made it himself.
That's awesome.
Now, this particular one, it shows a fairly thick amount of that scarf or the dhoti. Generally, it might be a little bit thinner, but very, very realistic image for that.
No, that's super awesome.
And fun fact, the charkha, or the spinning wheel, when India got their freedom, that they actually adopted that, and that's the symbol that's on the middle of the Indian flag. It's a
wow.
spinning wheel.
Okay,
So
awesome.
pretty cool. And that happened in 1947 is when India finally got their independence. The UK passed the Indian Independence Act, and so India was free. It's a lot like, if you have a 5-year-old kid, and for the first 5 years, you're raising him, you're giving him food, you're cooking for him, you're hand feeding, everything, and then after 5 years, you say, okay, go take care of yourself.
Right.
So India was kind of left with that, state of mind, and so it was tough, and there were a lot of issues and tension between Hindus and Muslims, different religious groups, and so Gandhi kind of set his sights to that next.
Yeah, and there wasn't a lot of infrastructure probably when
No.
when colonizers leave, and then everything's just kind of up in the air. It leaves people in disarray.
People are in disarray. Exactly. They don't know how to really do this well, And that was another issue that, I think even to this day that the Indian government is still working on, is really figuring out what works. But at this time, India was free for sure. They were independent, which Gandhi was happy for. And so he kind of set his sights on resolving tensions between Hindus and Muslims. And so he, in 1948, he was actually going to go to Pakistan to, help resolve conflict there, do
Smooth
some
it out,
work there.
yeah.
And on January 30th, he was actually assassinated by a Hindu extremist.
Oh, wow.
Who, told Gandhi, why are you talking with these guys? They're our enemy. We hate them, kind of saying everything that Gandhi was against, and then unfortunately shot him.
Was he out in the public? Like, how did
He
the
was.
incident take place?
It was out in the public. So I don't know exactly, but basically I think he was receiving blessings from people or something, and the guy who was assassinating him, came up to him and was doing the blessings and then just pulled out a gun and shot him.
Okay. Like a John Lennon type of scenario, kind
Exactly.
of just, yeah.
Mhm. Now, to this day, in that exact spot, there's actually a museum on the spot where Gandhi died that's dedicated to him. So, he, of course, he's known as the father of India because he's the reason we're free, you know. And so, if you go to India today, he's very, very well
So
celebrated.
his politics and what he believed in and everything were a direct result, and freedom was a direct result of his politics.
Basically, yeah,
in his,
pretty much.
because he would start all these little small colonies, and people would be kind of more invested in their community and want to get away from these big.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, people realize we don't need the British to run things for us. We can do it ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think when they realized that the British almost saw the Indian people as lesser, they really wanted to get away from that.
Yeah. Now, y'all made a film about this museum?
So the film is about the museum as well as nonviolence and peace.
Okay.
We worked with a company called Solid Light in Louisville, Kentucky, who helped with all of the amazing exhibits as well as the film.
Okay.
And it's a 6-minute film. And so for museums, they have an award called the Telly Award. It's basically like the Oscars, but for museums.
Yeah.
And in 2024, our film was not only nominated, but it actually won the Telly.
Oh, wow.
So it's an award-winning film.
Yeah.
And we have it in our A Force More Powerful theater. So A Force More Powerful is a 6-part documentary that covers 6 different regions in the earth where civil injustices were happening. One of them being India and Gandhi. So really great documentary.
What was the name of it again?
A Force More Powerful.
A Force More Powerful. Okay. I'll
And
check
so-
is it available to the public?
Yeah, I'm sure if you Google it, it's I'm not exactly sure where to find it, to be honest, but it is available to the
Do
public.
your Googles.
Yeah, that film. There's also a film called Gandhi the Man, featuring Ben Kingsley, who actually won some awards for it, where he plays Gandhi, and it's a phenomenal film, and it shows reenactments of a lot of the stuff that we talk about.
Do
in the
y'all air
museum.
that in your?
So we don't air
theaters?
that specifically. We only air our film in the Force More Powerful theater. But between you and me, I'm trying to set up a little movie night type deal where we can maybe play a movie like that in our auditorium, because we have
that's
a
super cool.
beautiful auditorium.
Yeah, we'll have
that
to
we
go
have
check that
events
out
at.
next,
So,
yeah.
yeah, we'll definitely check that out.
super cool.
But yeah, we have events on weekends all the time. You know, from meditation to painting classes. You know, so EGMH.org, check it out.
Yeah, it's great for kids. It's really interactive,
great for kids,
and,
yeah.
and kids that come over here and have a blast learning about nonviolence and
Yeah.
some really historical, awesome figures in our world. So
Yeah, and at this point, yeah, that's kind of the end of his journey part of the museum. And so next we like to highlight our journey, so people that have kind of followed in Gandhi's footsteps, you know,
Right.
and made changes in their own way. So
Right.
that's kind of the next portion of the museum.
awesome. We'll go check it out.
Let's do it.
All right. So, kind of want to let people at home know about your musical career.
Yeah, for sure.
We did an interview with you on the other show, but I definitely
Yeah.
wanted you to talk a little bit on mine about your musical.
So yeah, as you know, I'm an independent artist. I'm a recording and performing artist. So I produce my own music and I sing and rap on it. I'm on all platforms as just Neel Wani.
So is it like pop, or is it rap,
So-
or is it?
I kind of do a little bit of everything.
Okay.
I would say there's definitely elements of pop, rap, hip hop, R&B, rock. You know, there's definitely a lot of different influences, as well as Bollywood influences. So I don't like to limit myself to just one genre in terms of what I call myself, because I've had people come tell me, you know, oh man, that was really like R&B, like really cool. That was really cool, like rock style. That was really cool pop style, you know? So I like, all of my songs kind of have different themes of different genres, which I think is pretty cool. I actually just put out, on May 9th, I put out a new EP. I had a friend who passed away in January, so
I'm sorry to
dedicated
hear that.
him.
Yeah.
Thanks, yeah. But that particular one, I would say you got like a rap song, you got like a kind of sad ballad song, and then you've got kind of like an EDM dance type song.
So there's a little variety of everything.
Yeah, there's a variety in everything. So,
What made you start making music?
so yeah, and I mean, I've been in music all my life. I started playing the drums when I was like 10, but then what really got me into producing was I have a friend by the name of Jonah, and he was producing music in 2017, and I saw it, and I was like, wait, I really want to do that. That looks fun.
Yeah.
So I watched him, hopped on a couple of songs as a lyricist, and then
You're like, oh, that sounds good. I can do that again.
exactly,
Yeah.
sounds good. Let's do it again. And then eventually learned how to work the DAWs and the systems to where I could produce my own beats and make my own stuff. And so at this point, all my stuff that pretty much everything that I've released is my own production, with the exception of a couple of songs that are produced by Jonah. So
Yeah, and you got a production by Chris Pinsett as
and
well.
Chris Pinsett, as you know.
Yeah.
So I've definitely got a really good list of producers on my projects.
Yeah.
That are really good at what they do and do it in a way that's almost different. You know, they add their own little flares into it. So,
Yeah.
I'm hoping, you know, as I'm working with you and other people, to really get shows, you know, to start coming out and performing.
yeah.
And really get the message out there of love and peace, because I think that's one thing I connect with my music and my job, you know, the message. I think music is a great way to spread the message of love and nonviolence and peace, and so I try to incorporate those things too.
Yeah. I mean, it really kind of goes into what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
And yeah, especially with you making songs to raise awareness for various topics and stuff like that. I don't know how you lost your friend, but I'm very sorry to hear
Thanks,
that. And
yeah.
I think it's a admirable thing to do for you to be making projects and naming them after your friend. And
Yeah, you know, and I mean, for his specific case, it was a type of leukemia, but it's things like this that I think are important that we use our platforms to push, right?
Yeah.
I use my music platform to push that cause because though he suffered from that, he's not the only one. I mean, there are people all over this world suffering from lots of different things.
That's right.
And we, as a world, we have resources, we have technology, we have all this stuff to get advancements in, medicine.
Should be nobody starving.
Yeah,
should be nobody,
exactly. There should be
without
nobody
shelter.
starving, nobody sick.
Not
and
in 2025.
Exactly. When we have AI and, and so I think that's a big thing with the music and the museum that kind of combines, and I'm really appreciative of that.
Yeah. Y'all got this stage here. You ever thought about doing a show here?
Yeah. So we're thinking about it. We're thinking about throwing a couple shows. I'm also
an awesome auditorium here.
Yeah.
So.
I'm also in a cover band, so we're called Nowhere But Up.
Awesome.
I'm the drummer, and we actually have a show on May 31st, but I think that this will be dropping after that. So after that, we have a show in September, and our shows are always really good. We literally play.
Where's the show in September at?
So the show in September, I believe that it is somewhere downtown. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
But
Nowhere But Up.
Nowhere But Up, yeah. Okay. We literally do we do everything from Hannah Montana to Journey to Aretha Franklin, everything.
And y'all got a website so people can see your schedule and all that stuff. Okay.
We've got a website, nowherebutupband.com. You look us up, Nowhere But Up. We have, it's an amazing group.
And how can they find your music?
So my music's everywhere. Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Google. All you have to do is put in my name. I made it easy for them.
So
Neel
Wani.
Wani.
Yeah.
Neelwani.
Right.
That's all you gotta do. It's gonna pop up. You're
There's
gonna see a
not too
picture.
many Neel Wanis in the
No.
world.
I bet you've never met another one.
Right,
But,
exactly.
that's actually, so when I was first starting out, people were telling me, what's your artist name? What's your artist name? I decided to stick with my regular name because I think my name is really cool. It's short, 8 letters, nothing super crazy. And Neel is a very common name, but the way I spell it, Neel, a little bit less common,
Yeah.
It's got its Indian roots while it's also an American name. So I
never asked you that, but
Yeah.
is that why?
Exactly. So my parents,
Interesting.
when me and my sister were born, they wanted to give us names that had Indian culture, but they didn't want us to go through the hardships of, getting the name butchered on roll call and stuff. So Neel, Neel, it is an Indian name, but
Is it pronounced the same?
it's pronounced the exact same.
Neel. Okay.
But we know Neal, Neil, those are American derivations of that name. Whereas Neel comes from India. But my parents, that's a name that's really easy
go
for
by
people
Wani.
to say. I could go by Wani. I thought about that.
That sounds pretty mysterious.
Yeah, that's just the last word.
Just Wani.
Just Wani.
Yeah.
So that if I decide to do a rebrand, that's what it's going to be.
It's
going to be
sick.
Wani.
I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty
Because
sick.
that has also been on my mind recently. Is doing just Wani.
I think we just rebranded him.
Yeah, maybe when this comes out, I'll be Wani.
Before I call my rebranding.
Before I call my rebranding.
No, that's
the new
awesome,
name.
man. That's awesome.
Yeah. But
It's cool you make music for a reason.
Yeah.
A lot of people just make music just to make it for attention, or they're just doing it because they're bored. You have a lot more intention behind what you're doing, so that's really cool.
For sure.
And other artists out there coming up and everything do the same thing. Y'all can't tell you how therapeutic music is, how good it is for other people.
And for myself, most of the music I make is literally just for me.
Well, that's the thing,
So-
that's the thing I think people fail to realize. But you may be making something in your bedroom for yourself, and what you just did was create entertainment for someone else. It's amazing. You don't even think about it like that when you're doing it, but art is amazing like that.
Yeah.
It's good for the person making it, and it's great for the person consuming it.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say.
That's a
the things I'm
contribution in
going
itself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The things I'm going through, probably other people are going through them,
100%.
So they can hopefully listen to this music and know, one, you're not alone, and two, there's an emotional outlet for this stuff.
Yes, nothing new under the sun.
Yeah,
is what my
nothing
grandma
new
always
under the
say.
sun.
Yeah.
Gandhi even says it. He says truth and nonviolence are as old as the hills.
Right.
It's the same thing. I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
doing anything new.
just real quick to speak on that. It's an ongoing fight. This thing with Gandhi and the nonviolence and just being a peaceful person, exactly. It doesn't end tomorrow. It's like not on sale a week from now. It's like going on all the time.
Yeah.
And we need to continue that ideology of like, it's going on all the time. You have to leave your house with this. Like, don't go get in your car and get in a road rage incident. You know, leave your house with this in the back of your mind. We're coexisting in the world with each other, different societies, different races, different everything, and we have to find a way to make it work and not go to war with each other. And he's just all that. He embodies all that, so it's pretty awesome. If you haven't had the chance, make your way over to the Eternal Gandhi Museum and check it out. Neel will give you an amazing tour.
Absolutely. We are
he's
open
really good.
from Tuesday to Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then Sundays from 12 to 5. We do close on Mondays. That's just the day of the week that we close, but we're open every other day. Groups, if you're bringing in a group of 10 or more, give me a call. I will make sure we set up a tour for you and your group. We'll give you a nice personalized tour. If we need to accommodate anything else, we can make it happen. But yeah, come see me. We've definitely got a really cool message here for you guys. So
Awesome.
This episode of Before I Call My Therapist was brought to you in part by Faded Decade, The Underground Standard. We're number one. Thank you.